And here is the mill with the grow set up on it. Need to get this pulley back here, get a new keyway cut into that. It's not set up quite right, a little bit of a wobble to it. Put new bearings in the motor. Cuts pretty nice. Got the scales down here set up. Made some little standoffs for it. And they slide up and down really nice. Nice and true. X, Y, and Z. And I bought this little digital scale for the quill up here on this side. Needs to replace the battery. It's flashing. I did find out this mill is at MSC. Made back in probably the early 70s. And then over here I have the little Grizzly G0602 10x22 lathe. Does pretty good in turning. Had to put the quick change tool post on here. Had to do some work down in here. When you loosen the nut to loosen all of this, it works fine. When you tighten this down, then you hit this lever here. It didn't want to turn before. So I had to take this whole thing apart, clean it all up. There was a burr on the shaft inside here. So it would actually rotate the whole piece even though it was tightened down. But now it works pretty good. Part's really nice. Got enough power to it. Does a really good job. Made these little compensating valves. This one here's got a 4-hole. This one here is for gasoline. This one here is a 8-hole. That's for kerosene. This one here is for a 3 horsepower motor. This one here is for a 1.5 horsepower motor for international harvester type M engines. Made them out of aluminum. Spun it all out on here. Getting ready to make another one. Actually, I think I already made one. This here's the leftover of it. And then for the hole pattern, I was bringing back over here to the drill. And I just come into the bolt hole circle, program it. I need to get a set of soft jaws made for this so I can hold these, because it tries to cock them in the vise. Try to do it without crushing this. So if I make some soft jaws, put one here and put one here, then I should be able to drill right into the soft jaw without messing around with the vise at all. And the compensating valves go into these engines that are down here. There's one right here. It goes right inside this. Down inside that hole there. And then you can probably see it on this one here. This one here is a 3 horse. You can see the shininess down in there. This one here, the big one, is the one that went into here. The 8-hole, because it's actually set up for kerosene, water, gasoline. It'll never run kerosene again, so I'm going to switch it all over to gasoline, but you got to get rid of all these holes because it won't run right. And then this little carburetor here, the top half, and that's what the new compensating valve is for. This one here is actually in there, but it's got some wear on it. So I take that one out, and then I made another one, and it goes in from the back side. And just sits there with a spring on each intake. It goes back and forth. Then this here's a Stover, 1937 Stover. This ran a Smith mixer. And all these parts on here was all wore out. There's a lot of play in them. Now there's like hardly anything in them. I I had to make this piece here and then press this shaft into it. This here's the original one, what it's supposed to look like. It's pretty close. But this tab here was broke off. And I tried to bore that out so I could re-sleeve it with a bushing. I could bore this side, but whenever they braze this back on wood, this here is so hard my end mills wouldn't even touch it. So instead of destroying it, I figured I would just make another one and just be done with it. Counterweights. So this here is all done up here. This here's ready to go. It's the latch out for the exhaust. And then my next project on this engine is the valves and the head. These valves are new. I got to get these seats down here recut, get the guides down here, bore it out, and get a new valve stem bushing put in those so I can get a new set of valves put back into this. And after that, I can get the engine back together, get this piece here painted, get it up, and it'll be running, and there it is. But this carburetor here that goes to a 3-horse and a 1.5 horse, I mean, look at the size difference of these. These things are just massive. So, to give you a quick idea how large these two engines are, this one down here, this front one right here is a 3-horse. The head sits up here in the front, carburetor and everything, and then this one that sits in the back is a 1.5 horse, and it's quite a bit smaller than the 3-horse. The 3-horse is 575 pounds. The 1.5 horse is 350 pounds, 360 pounds. They're quite heavy. But yeah, just wanted to show you what the mill was doing and how far along it was.